over here in Norway, and one of the things, waking up and seeing over $800,000 in my Vanguard account, and then looking at my crypto account. I don't know if you guys can see how nice it is out here. I'm inside of my hotel room. I'm on a business trip here. I have actually been. I'm going to see if we can get this. There's a there. Yeah, there you can see it actually. If that's it right there, that is a sauna. On a business trip over here. I've been going over. There's a sauna in the middle of this little peninsula, and I can go over there and do contrast saunaing from the peninsula into the river. It's absolutely fantastic. But what I want to talk about, I'm waking up, I'm looking at my Vanguard account. AMD continues to pop off, and I wanted to talk about a little bit about AMD. Is there an AI bubble? And then somebody posed a question to me about $5,000. And if I had $5,000, what would I do right now with the $5,000? Would I just put it into crypto, or, and hopefully, the lighting's not bad. Would I put this money into crypto, or would I put this money into something in my Vanguard account? Okay, so pretty good question. And when I think through that, especially trying to hold this, sorry about that. When I'm thinking through that question, I'm looking at my Coinbase account. I'm into crypto, but not like crazy amounts. So I have about, currently, between my wife and I, we've got about $165,000 in crypto. And that's in Ethereum, it's in Solana, it's in Bitcoin, it's in SUI, and a little bit of one other thing that's stupid. So I want to break this down, and that's what I want to talk about is there an AI bubble? Okay, and then what would I do with that $5,000? And the AI bubble part I just want to talk about briefly, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking through the lens of, like, we're just starting to see this, this connection where OpenAI is bringing in and they're signing this deal with AMD, and that's helping AMD pop off. And I started to think through, like, how are people, a bubble would be if there's no revenue from it, right? So first, ChatGPT currently is making money off of their actual product being, you go in and you can talk to it, and it's agentic, and you can communicate and ask questions and have it do things, blah, blah, blah. But now they're starting to bring in things like Shopify. They're starting to bring in different aspects like Zillow, so you can actually ask questions to ChatGPT. I'm gonna bring a little bit more light just on my face, and maybe that's a bad idea, but that's what I'm gonna do. And so you can start to see that there's other ways that you're making money off of AI, and then you start to look further, and like Palantir's making money, Nvidia's making money. So there isn't, in my belief, that at this very moment, there's still a lot of money to be made. There's not a bubble right now. Like, as far as comparing this again, and you can look at the data and comparing this to the 90s, I don't think we're close to 2000. Okay, if we compare that there. So I did want to just touch on that real quickly. But when I thought about this example with and if you guys want me to go further into the AI bubble discussion, I will go in, I'll do research further, because I still think through, like, Meta is using AI to run ads, right? OpenAI is going to make more money by using different apps integrated into its AI. You're going to make money off of, I believe you're going to see this on X even further, running better ads with AI. We're going to see this with Amazon, and I think Amazon's going to start to make more money not only off of AI but off of robotics. We're seeing this with Google. They're making AI. So again, this is like the examples of when I was doing the research on it. There's revenue sources, and they're only going to get better and better and better. So to make money off AI, it's going to happen. Now, to look at this $5,000 example, if you guys want me to talk about that further, I'll do another video on this. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel just for fun, and to really provide a lot of thought process behind what I'm doing financially, because I enjoy it and I like to learn about it. Now, the $5,000 example, would you put it into crypto? Would you put it into AMD? So right now I'm looking at my stocks, and I'm looking at October, and I promised myself I wouldn't buy anything until the end of October because I wanted to see if there'd be any type of dip. to make a better buying, a better case to buy. And so I'm looking at Elf, big one for me, big grower for me. I'm looking at if we're in general looking at Amazon, great opportunity right now. Google, great opportunity. Meta, always great opportunity. AMD, it's going to be worthwhile, right? It's going to, I believe by 2029, 2030, we're going to be looking at a $750 to a $900 stock, if you ask me, based off the numbers I've run. And if I'm looking at other types of stocks I own, Bitmine Immersion, Celsius. Okay, so I look at those stocks and I think, would I put $5,000 into them? Then I'm going, all right, well, what if I put it into just ETFs, VOO, SCHD, SPMO, those are the ETFs I own. Well, what if I put $5,000 into crypto? Okay, so those are the thought processes when I'm going through this game. And when I'm playing the game, I'm thinking about, what's the $5,000 going to do? What do I want? I want to play a long-term game. I want to put $5,000 in now in a manner of dollar cost averaging. Okay, and I want to play this game like, if I put $5,000 in right now, in 5 years, will that be $15,000-$20,000? Okay, let's say like something like that, but that would be very aggressive, obviously. So on a safe bet, what I would do, I would put it into SPMO. Okay, that's where I would put it right now, SPMO on a safe bet. Okay, that'd be my first step. If you've never invested in anything, so if I had never invested in anything, I'd put it into VOO. So these are ETFs that you can get if you own a Vanguard account. Okay, I would safe. I've never invested, I'd put it into VOO. If I want to go a little bit more aggressive, but still safe, SPMO. If I want to go a little bit more aggressive and I want to put it into a singular stock, I can put it into Meta. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna do great. It's gonna be perfectly safe in Meta. I guarantee you. You can put it into Google and play that game. If I personally was starting to invest more and I wanted to play the game now and say, yeah, but I see AMD's popping off. This dude's been talking on YouTube since May about AMD. I've been talking about SoFi. I've been talking about freaking the fact that Google's going to blow up further. I did want to point those out with you guys. And I think that SoFi, you look at it, popping off. Elf, you look at it, popping off. Google came back, popping off. Now, if I'm looking at AMD and I'm going, well, $5,000 now, and if this guy just said 750, 800, maybe if you're willing to go through the ups and the downs and then the back up, like we might see 250 in the next 60 days on AMD. And maybe we should play that game, 250 in the next 60 days. Well, now all of a sudden that takes your $5,000, and what's that put you up to? 6K, 6,200, something like that maybe. Well, that's nice. That's a good game to play. Well, that's something you can think through if you're willing long-term to play the $5,000 long-term game. Now, if I take that step back and I'm going, well, I want to go real aggressive. If I want to go real aggressive, I want to go into crypto. But here's the big factor here. I believe right now, because we got this government shutdown, that everybody should have 3 months saved, if they're able to, 3 months of bills saved. And you put that into your primary account. Because with this government shutdown, I don't think the left is going to budge, and I don't think Trump's going to budge at all. Because if Trump budges, he looks bad. The left budges right now, they could call Trump's bluff the whole time. I actually think this is a shutdown that will matter. I've never thought that ever. I've always thought they're dumb and they're just going to figure it out. I think this thing might go on for a month. I could be wrong, but I'm slightly concerned with that. And so I think that if we're talking about investing $5,000, I'd want to make sure I got 2 to 3 months of my expenses, of my necessary expenses, saved in my primary account. I want 6 to 9 months saved in some type of high yield savings account, something that's relatively safe, right? So we're going to put 6 to 9 months of expenses in a high yield savings account. So I better have that covered. I better have my plan for my Roth IRA covered. Did you max out everything with your company? Does your employer do a match? Did you max it out? If you did, okay, and you still got that $5,000, then we're in a good spot. Okay. And then, okay, did you max out, is your real estate, do you have your high debt paid down? Okay, you did. All right. Well, you still got that $5,000. Okay. Well, now Once we go through all those different checklists, now we can start discussing, should you put the $5,000 in a conservative area or in a more aggressive area? And so those are things that I like to play, the game that I like to play and check, right? I like to go through all of that and make sure I'm in a good spot. And if I was looking at this with 5K right now, safely, I would put it into SPMO. If I was like, you know what, I'm feeling a little froggy, I think I got a good spot, I believe in this, that's what I did with AMD, and we're in a great spot with AMD. Great spot. It's going to keep blowing up. Okay, I actually think by the time this run is done, by 2030, I'm going to have over $1 million in AMD. I truly actually believe this. And now, if I had the $5,000 and I'm looking at crypto and I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm looking at Ethereum, I like to play through this like, man, well, if I put it into Bitcoin, it's going to grow quite a bit. But I actually think if I put it into Ethereum and Ethereum goes from 5,000 to, 12, 13 by the end of the year, maybe, we don't know. It might happen. I'm high on Ethereum right now. I'm freaking loving Ethereum and Bitmine. I am all about Ethereum and Bitmine. And, Bitmine being the entity that owns a lot of Ethereum backed by Tom Lee. So to answer, I would play the game safely right now from my stance because I have a large amount in crypto in my mind. I have a large amount in those other areas that are a little bit more aggressive. I would probably put it into AMD. If you're confident that Bitcoin's going to go to 200K by the end of the year, you could put it in there if you think that's reasonable. But for me, at right now, worth where I'm at, I'm not going to put it into crypto, although I was buying Ethereum a week ago. So I say that, and I was buying Ethereum. I probably spent about $3,000 just last week on Ethereum. So if I'm going in any way, I would go personally with $5,000 right now. I would either put that into Ethereum, or I would personally put that, and you guys might think this is wild because I'm flipping here, put that all into Celsius, because I think Celsius is going to start to pop off. I think Celsius, you put it in, I think it's around $55. We might see Celsius up at 80 to $100 soon. So that's where you could get a big return as well. Just some thoughts. That's how I go through the process. I run numbers. I put numbers into projections. I see how I want to make these decisions. And then I look at my monthly assets. I check my monthly assets. Where are they growing? Where are we diminishing? And I try to play through that. And then I look at the monthly budget, and then that helps with these decisions. And that's the process that I go through. I hope that helps somebody out there. Until next time, peace.